Every week is a new adventure,
Yeah.
isn't it? All right, friends. If you have something that you want to use to support your hips, then that would be nice. You could go ahead and grab that. I have my block nearby today. I am going to use my block at some point. Let's start by having a seat. Let's go ahead and take the soles of your feet together. And we're not warmed up, so if this is too much, then and your soles of your feet don't come together, just take a wider kneed, easy pose. If your hands can anchor to your feet, maybe you can scoot your hips up a little bit closer to the balls of your feet or to your heels. And now you're able to sit well with straight arms. Good. And this is a great example of that immediate intensity where for most people, this is not comfortable. You wouldn't stay here all day. You wouldn't say, oh, this is so comfortable, I'm going to just sit like this to relax. But this is an opportunity for you to become more intentional about your breath and appreciating that your body actually has the ability to go a little bit further than your mind wants to, that your body also has the ability to repair itself to a degree. So moving can help at the cellular level to restore your body. So let's sit really well. If you're hunched over at all, puff up your chest, lift your chin a little bit. Good. Let there be some tension from the extension through your elbows. Take a couple deep breaths here. Opportunity to have a nice big exhale out your mouth with these deep breaths. Everyone, please take a deep breath in, and then on our exhale, bend your elbows, and without rounding your back at all, just pulling forward with your chest very gently. Some of you may not go very far at all. It might just be more of a subtle shift, but you probably feel the intensity through your inner thighs. So softening your elbows, soften your jaw. Imagine that you're leading with your belly button, trying to reach towards your arches. A lot of opening through your back here. Soften your elbows. Good. Let's breathe in and then back out in the exhale. So breathe in, exhale, move back out. Oh. Good work. Bring your legs out in front of you. Bend your right knee. Take it over your extended left leg. Sit up nice and tall, and then take a twist towards the right. You might just have your hand anchoring your knee. Once you get there and you're in this twist, so my left hand is on the outside of my right knee and I'm turning to the right. Some of you might take your hand and create a little bit more leverage by bringing your elbow to the outside of that thigh. And that's optional. Pull your right shoulder down and back. And close your eyes here. Let your gaze just be internal. So right out of the gate this morning, we're kind of stepping into, if we had green, yellow, red, we're stepping into the yellow. Coaxing out our body. Not letting us just stay in that same straightforward sitting position. Can you exhale and make more space through your abdomen to twist your ribs a little bit more, taking your right outer lobe of your lung back and more to the right. And if you find it becomes a little bit hard to breathe when you're twisty, that's okay. Think of pulling the breath from deeper in the belly. Let's travel on the exhale. Come back up to center. Hold on to your right knee with your right hand. Find your left hand on your right foot. Pick this leg up. Let's rock that hip out a little bit. Some of you remember we've been here before. This may be where is best for you. Some of you might say, oh, I can cradle the leg a little bit more. Create this baby. I've got my right foot in the in the crook of my left elbow. Yeah, it takes a little wrapping. Good, Nick. All right, and then once you've got it, now you can really rock your baby here. Take a side to side motion. So we're moving the hip. Good, sit up tall. Drop your heel onto your left thigh, release, but keep this fold of your legs. Flex this foot and bring your ankle bone so that it's kind of hanging over the edge of your left thigh. Sit up really well. Flex your left toes straight up towards the ceiling. Get everything grounding down towards the mat and then lean forward. And again, always folding forward with a flat back creates this extension through your back and through the back of your pelvis, as opposed to just rounding the spine. We're not really trying to round our spine, right? We're just trying to find lengthening, and you might feel this through this back of your right hip, a little bit like when you're in pigeon. Yeah, Susan's like, Give yourself the space here to lean your chest towards this inner right shin as much as you can. Mindful that you're energetically drawing your shoulders down and back together. Good, breathe here. All right, exhale, sit back up. Let's unwind your right leg and do the other side. If you have some extra cushioning underneath your hips, you might want to move that, literal or figuratively, right? Okay, sit up really well, draw your left leg in. Oh, goodness. That's me doing squats yesterday, right there, right? That's Chris doing rollerblading, yeah, right there. All right, we're taking this left foot across your right thigh. Good, use your right hand, hold on to your outer left knee and start to twist. And I'm really keeping my right hip down. You can use your left hand to create an anchor behind you. Beautiful, Alana. Notice what's happening with your left shoulder, and can you drop your left shoulder down and back? Some of you might want to take your right elbow, bring it to the outside of your left knee, and then you have a little bit more of an opening and some leverage here. Breathe in. Let go the things that happened Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and even so far today that you do not need to carry forward with you. The grudges, the worries, the stress, leave it behind. Take a breath in, and on your exhale, see if you can make more space to twist at the ribs, pulling your outer left ribs back and to the left. Soften your face, soften that space between your eyes. And then let's exhale and move back out. Grab your left foot with your right hand. Support your left knee with your left hand. Pick that leg up. Your hips are different. So what you were able to do on one side is going to be different than on the other. So just start here, opening up this hip. And then if you'd like, you can explore taking this further. But whether you have the wrap of your arms, see my left foot is in the crook of my right elbow, or not, you want to move. So I'm really trying to get this foot up and then move. Yeah, a little bit different here. And I'm not like rolling all around. I'm really trying to anchor these sitting bones down and just articulate what's happening with this leg. Most of your joints are ball and socket joints. The hip is not an exception. But there's limitations to our anatomy, and there's limitations because as we get older, the space, the cushioning in those sockets gets more shallow. So be mindful here, but keep moving. All right, let's bring your left ankle on top of your right thigh, bringing that outer ankle bone a little bit over. So I'm not bringing my foot inside, I'm bringing it kind of so my heel is off of my leg. Sit up really tall. Flex the toes on your right foot. So this right leg is really engaged. Belly is in, pulling your shoulders down and back. Gently lean forward. Gently bring your chest with a good strong flat back and a nice long spine towards your inner left shin. Good. Close your eyes here. Breathe. And soften your jaw. Let the tip of your tongue rest on the roof of your mouth as you take an inhale. And then keep that position with your mouth with a nice soft back of the jaw as you exhale through your nose. Breathing in and then relaxing your jaw, keeping your tongue resting slightly on the roof of your mouth. Lips are closed. Exhale through your nose. One more breath here if you have any space to go a little bit further. All right, undo that leg. Good work, guys. Come over to your hands and knees. Let's take ourselves to a child's pose, toes to touch. Take your knees out really wide like a big V, and then gently drop your hips back towards your heels. Explore that opening that you feel through your inner thighs by taking your knees out wide. And you can rest your head on a block or your pillow or right down to the mat. Good. Breathe in and breathe out. I invite you to take a moment and just think about a person that inspires you. And what is it about that person that inspires you? A living thing that inspires you. Is it what they do, what they did, or is it the energy that they carry? Is it the way that they do the things that they're doing? And is there space for you to learn from the gift that you have of knowing that person? Can you manifest some of that same energy? Holding your head up high, perhaps being optimistic or determined. Take a big breath in. Push yourself up to your hands and knees. And let's get really grounded through our hands, all 10 fingers on the mat. Circle out your hips here, some big circles. Dropping your hips all the way around. And even though I'm doing something soft, I'm pulling my belly button in. Good. Switch directions. Come back to your hands and knees. All right, guys. We got hips on our mind today. So If it's too much weight on your wrists, you can put the block underneath your left hand to get a little bit of the pressure out of that shoulder. We're gonna take the right knee up, all right? And you can soften your left arm if you wanna take some weight out of that wrist. And we're gonna slowly bring the right knee in and up. All right, to the degree that you can, let's use an exhale as you lift and squeeze. I invite you to open your eyes, look at some space on your mat, like a tiny variation in the material, and hold your gaze steady. Bring all your awareness to the lowering and the lifting of your right knee. Flex your right foot. All right, so nobody said this was fun, right? It just said it was good, so stay with it. Going slow, pushing through your right hand, hugging your belly in. Are you getting tired in your left glute? No? You can do 35 more? I can see you. Come on, 5. Keep going. 4, 3, 2. You're doing well. Stay with it. And 1. Good work. Put your knee on the mat. We're going to take our left knee behind the right. So left knee comes up. Drop it behind the right. Scoot your feet out. If you've got your block, it might be the place that your butt goes as you lean back, or some of you might be fine to come all the way down. So here's the modified. I just popped back onto my block. Good. Linda, if this hurts too much, give it a try as you go back there and sit on the block.
That's right.
If that's not good, yeah. It's a little tricky to get there. You got it. Okay, perfect. You did it. Good. Look at you guys. I got you into shoelace. Good job. All right. Heather, what happened? Come back. There you go. Come back to your hands and knees. Take your left knee behind your right. And then sit all the way back. Wow. There you go. Okay. See the difference? Yeah. There you go. She's got it. Okay. Good job, guys. Perfect. The theme for today is, I think, like more than meets the eye, right? Like nothing's as easy as it looks. Good. Okay. Even if you're wobbling a little bit, find a moment. I find anchoring onto my feet is helpful. Take a big breath in. Take a breath out. Close your eyes. Breathe in. Exhale out the things that you do not need to be carrying around, that are little things, like when you walk through the woods and the little things from the trees and the weeds stick on you. Let all of those things fall off. Good. Let's see if we can rock forward back to our hands and knees and uncross your legs. Reset in your child's pose. Take your toes to touch. And drop your hips back to your heels. Rest your hands forward. Breathe in and breathe out. Walk your fingertips forward just a little bit more. Good, and then push yourself back up to your hands and knees. All right, so your way to relax the weight in your right hand this time is to put your hand or your whole forearm on the block on the right. Left hand is still on the mat. That shoulder is helping me hold myself up with a straightish arm. All right, knees are apart, and lift your left leg, flexing your foot. All right, we're in this fire hydrant doggy pose here. Really good for your glutes. So lift and lower. Here we go. Find a place to look that's not all around, that's straight down. That is your drishti. That's your focus. Hug in everything. Use your breath to your advantage. One of my friends who's been coming to my class for several years now runs half marathons, which is crazy because she didn't run at all before. But she has told me that it's the breath that has helped her quite a bit to be able to have the endurance to steady and lengthen that breath. So try that, steady and lengthen your breath. Couple more. I want your right glute to be speaking to you. So we're having a conversation. Your right glute might have felt ignored. Now you can pay attention to your right glute, right? Let's do 3, 2, 1. If you want more, you are welcome to keep going. Otherwise, join me here, hands and knees. Anybody up for that? No? All right, right knee behind the left. I got this crisscross behind my legs, and then you start to sit back. You can put that block back there as your landings pad. Doing shoelace on both sides is really a way for you to kind of say like, oh, wow, one hip doesn't move the same as the other. We tend to have a dominant side. That's the leg we always cross over, right? And then we tend to have a side with the shoulder that is where we always bear weight. And so what happens is the longer hip, like the one that's easier to cross over, all the ligaments here are longer because we have weight on this shoulder. So we pull down, we shorten this hip, and then we lengthen this side. So then you get real short in this one side, right? And then the opposite happens on the shoulder too. So it's all connected. Think of the back of your body like a big X from shoulder to heel. If that makes sense to you, then you can sit well here and feel about how you can ground down through both hips. If that makes no sense at all, just don't even worry about it. Just take a couple breaths here. Some of you may want to let your fingertips walk forward, gently bringing your chest towards this upper thigh. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, friends, rock and roll forward. Come back to your hands and knees. Uncross your feet, your knees, and let's spend some time on our feet now. So from your tabletop, tuck your toes, come to your downward facing dog. So as a reminder, down dog, if it's too much at any point, just drop your knees, take a break. You're still building good strength in your shoulders if you're on your hands and knees. All right, I'm gonna offer the lunge that we're about to do both ways. If you're on your hands and knees and you'd like to keep your left knee down, you can step your right foot forward and reach your arms up. If you're in downward facing dog, join me in lifting your right leg up towards the sky. Stay here a moment. Maybe bend your knee, opening through your hip. And then look at your right thumb, put your right foot forward, and you can keep your left knee lifted as you rise up. If you're kind of not sure you want to do, in between would be putting your left knee on the block. Whoop. So now I'm kind of in between. All right, good. We're all here. We're going to flow like this. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, sweep your hands back, lean your chest forward. and my palms are down, just like we did airplane pose. And so even with the knee down, like Nick, you might like having your back knee on the block like this and your right foot forward. You can still inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach back. All right, we're gonna slow that down, really concentrating on connecting breath with our arms. So let's get solid in your legs wherever you are and do it 5 times. I'll take you through it. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, slowly move your hands along one plane as your body leans forward. And then all the breath comes out as you find this position where you're leaning forward, reaching through your hands, palms down. Good. Inhale, reach up. Find your gaze. Exhale, lean forward. Sweep your arms back. For those of you that have the knee lifted, you can push off that back toe. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sweep your arms back. This may be the part where you're getting tired, you want to give up. Stay with me. Breathe. Inhale, reach up. We're creating endurance and discipline. Stay in the discomfort. Exhale, reach back. Have the confidence in yourself that yes, you can get through. One more. Breathe in, reach up. Good. Exhale, reach back. Everybody get your left knee down to the floor. Oh, straighten out your right leg. Maybe your hands are on the block or fingertips on the floor. Get a nice stretch of your right foot and right hamstring here. Some of you may take both hands across to the outside of your right leg. So here's option 1. My hands are on a block here. Option 2, take those hands away to the outside of your right leg. Ow. Good. Beautiful. Come back forward. Little pigeon sneaking in here. Walk your right heel across to your left wrist. Drop your right knee to your right wrist. Take your time and grab your support and put it underneath your right hip. So there's supposed to be some space between your right hip and the floor as opposed to dropping down onto the floor. You want some space here. I'm going to put the block there. Good. As a reminder, if this is not good for you, you can lay down on your back and I'll take you through that. So if you're here, fold forward, bring your forehead to the floor or to your hands. If that's not good for you, on your back we go. Bend your left knee, cross your right leg on top of your left thigh. And if you're with me on your back, with your right ankle, like in a figure 4 on your left thigh, take your hands, reach behind your left thigh and pull towards your chest. Good. If you're in pigeon with your face down, are you holding tension in your shoulders? A lot of us do that unconsciously. Can you wiggle in a way that creates more space between your collarbones and more space along the sides of your neck? All of these poses can be intense even though they're slow. Breathe in and breathe out. All right. My half pigeons who are on the floor, tense your fingers, lift your chest, walk your hands a little bit closer to your knee. Take a big opening right here. My friends who are on their back, uncross that leg and make your way back up to your hands and knees. Let's all reset, either in your downward facing dog or in your tabletop. So if you're in tabletop, take a couple cat-cows here to open up your back. If you're in your downward facing dog, make sure your arms are straight. You're pushing the mat away. Soften your knees and pull your chest towards your thighs. Shake your head from side to side. If it's like calling to you to bend one knee, then the other, just listen to what feels good. This is your space. You prioritized your whole life and all the other things you could have been doing right now to give yourself this time to show up for each other and to show up for yourself. So be here fully. Let's get ready to take our left foot forward. You may have your right knee down and just step your left foot forward. Meet me in that low lunge. Or take your left leg up towards the sky. Pause here for a moment. Keep your right arm straight if you're still in down dog, pushing into your shoulder bones. Maybe bend your left knee, open through that hip a little bit. And then let's all bring our left foot forward. My low lunges, remember, you have the option of having your right knee on the block to give you a little bit of height. And this front leg is stacked right over heel, no matter whether your back knee is up or not. Let's all rise up. Inhale, reach up. Check in that you have a square with your hips facing forward and your shoulders facing forward, because if you find that your back leg is crossed back here, then you're going to be really out of balance. So let there be some space from side to side between your feet. Good. Big breath in, reach up. Exhale, palms are down, move in a straight line. Lean forward, reach your hands back, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Put energy reaching out from your fingertips, radiating all the way up. Good. Inhale, reach up, send your gaze up to look up between your hands. Good. Exhale, reach back. Let's really connect the breath, you guys. So really strong in our bellies. Inhale, reach up. Concentrate on the movement like it's one line moving. Good. Exhale, reach back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Palms are down. Here's where it starts to get hard. Stay with it. Yes, you can. Believe in yourself that you can. Right? This is that point where we're like, oh, I want to stop. Don't stop. Lean in, reach forward. What if the best was still yet to come and you quit? Just too early. Don't give up. Stay with it. Inhale, reach up. Last one. Exhale, reach back. Awesome work, everybody. Drop your right knee. If your right knee is on the block, you can move that block, bring it all the way to the floor. All right, even though if we were breathing, if you had any tension at all, let it go here as you take your left foot forward, nice big stretch. Good. Some of you might have your hands on the block inside of your right leg or on your left thigh. Some of you might take your hands and just bring them over to the outer side of your left calf. Kind of fires that up a little bit. Breathe. So do you notice that's what we do? We find the physical posture. We allow ourselves to be there, and then you breathe. And let that be your process for making tough decisions in your life as well. Instead of like just jumping from place to place, not sticking with it, not sure what you're going to do, just make the decision, fix yourself as supported as you can, and then stay there for enough time to see whether you agree or not. Breathe. Let's unwind. I'm going to use my block underneath my left hip. So bring that over here. Walk your foot over to your right hand. Those of you who are going to go on your back, you can go ahead and swing around, lay down on your back. Left knee to left wrist. Tent your fingers, and there is a gap between my left booty and the floor, so that's where the block goes. Good. Wiggle your right toes back. Breathe. Some of you might feel this in your back. Lead with your chest, this flat part of your chest right here, and fold forward. All right, for my friends who are on their back, you've got your right foot on the floor, left knee crossed over. Awesome. Pick up your right foot, thread your hands behind your right thigh, and give yourself that little gentle squeeze. Breathe here. If this is the point when your mind starts to wander, bring yourself back to the things that you are grateful for. Back to our intention for today, which was to try to understand that energy in the people that we admire and who inspire us, and to think about how we might be able to manifest our own direction in a way that's inspiring. Because each of you is a leader by the nature of the courage that you have to prioritize your life and just show up for one another like this. You are a leader. And if you're a leader, that's a gift and not one that you can shy away from because other people are looking to you. Walk your hands back up. Take a moment here. If you've got your reclined pigeon, you're on your back, you can unwind and just windshield wiper your knees side to side. If you have your hands on the floor, sweep back, find your downward facing dog, stretch out those legs. So if you're on your back, you're tossing your knees side to side. If you're in your downward dog, shake your head gently side to side. Press opposite heel to the mat as you bend opposite knee. Good. Everybody, walk your feet to your hands or come up off of your back, and let's all stand up at the top of the mat. How we doing, guys? Mondays and Thursdays, right? They're hard, huh? Yeah. All right, spread out all 10 toes and then lay them down on the mat. If you have a tendency to collapse your knees together, then roll those thighs open, put pressure on your outer arches. And if you have a tendency to collapse into your hips, then push the pressure down into your medial arches, which is the inner arch, so that now you're really balanced through your feet. Plug in your heels, zip up your belly, stand up really well. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, put your hands together and take your hands through heart center as you fold, hinging at the hips. Let your head hang. Good. Relax your hands either to the floor or to opposite elbow. Again, finding our focus in your feet. Push through your big toes and through your heels. Rise all the way back up. Inhale your arms, your gaze. Reach maybe a little bit back this time. Exhale, forward fold. Connect your breath, guys. Listen to the breath cues. Inhale, rise up. Sweep your arms up, bending a little bit at the waist. Maybe you goalpost your arms this time, squeezing your shoulder blades together, bending your elbows. And then exhale, forward fold. Last one like that. Go as full as you can. Push through your feet. Breathe in. Reach up. Eyes are up and back. Exhale, hands through heart center, intentional fold. Good work. Breathe into your flat back. Step back to your high plank or your modified high plank. So modified, the knees are a little bit back, not just in tabletop. So a little bit back or high plank. Belly tight, gaze is forward, friends. Push up through your shoulders, no matter whether your knees are down or not. And I want you in your mind to tell yourself something that you are going to do over the next 3 days that is going to make an impact. And it could be something as I'm going to be patient with the people in my house, or you have something that you need to clear out, or you need to give yourself some space. Go ahead, choose it. Your body is working. I want your mind working too. So what is it that you're going to do that's really impactful between now and Monday? If you're shaking, you're changing, stay with me. Good. Everybody, meet me in your downward facing dog. If down dog really is not there for you, you can take a child's pose. We're getting a nice long back, arms forward. Good work, guys. Breathe in. Breathe out. Walk your toes in a little bit. If you're in child's pose, we're all going to meet standing up, taking our right foot forward and left foot back. Not very far. So we're not in a lunge again. We're going to take pyramid pose. So my feet are only, about half the distance of they normally would be. I'm close enough together that you're able to pull your left hip forward. All right, options with your arms. Arms can go straight down, clasp your hands behind your back, or out like a T, lead with a flat back, fold forward. If you have your arms out like a T, this is the stronger pose. So you're gonna hold that, hugging in your core, reaching through your fingers, setting your gaze steady. If you have your hands behind your back or to the floor, let your nose come to your knee. This is the increasing flexibility pose. Both have challenges. Breathe here. So in pyramid pose, if your hands don't reach the floor, put your block in front of your right big toe so that you can rest your hands there. Good. If you're feeling this a lot through the back of your right leg, then that is correct. Okay. Very good. Standing on your right foot, everybody release your hands to the floor or the block in front of you. You can bend your right knee and then lift your left foot, step it up to meet the right. You're in this big forward fold. Good work. Inhale, reach all the way up. All right, guys, we're climbing the mountain. We're almost to the top, and then it's all downhill. Stay with me. You're almost to the peak where you get the view, so stay with it. Exhale, fold. Inhale to your flat back. Step back to your high plank or your modified plank. This is the part right before they reach the top of the hill when a lot of people check out, give up, start wandering around. It's our human nature to run away from resistance to protect ourselves. But the real gifts come into the light when you stick with something. So just stick with it, settle, push that mat away. Belly is tight. Good work, guys. Breathe here, even if you're modified. Excellent job, everybody. Good, Linda. Exhale, push back to your downward facing dog. Breathe. Open your mouth. Exhale it out. Walk your feet towards your hands. Take your left foot forward and your right foot back, stand up. My block is there near my front of my mat, so I can grab it if I need to. We'll do pyramid on this side. Before you begin, check in that your right hip can be squared. Option, arms can be out. They can come down in front or clasp your hands behind your back. Let's all fold forward, trying to keep your right and your left legs pretty straight. If you need to soften those knees a little bit in order to find yourself to be able to stay here, then do that. But our intention is to get like a pretty Deep stretch and length through the back of your left leg. If your hands don't reach the floor, put the block in front of your left foot and you can put your hands on the block. Good. All right, for those of you that are firing up through your core with your hands out to the side, set your gaze forward a little bit, not straight down at your left toes, and lengthen through your elbows. Hug your belly in and put some weight into your right heel. Very good. Everybody, bring your hands down to the floor of the block in front of your left foot. Soften your left knee. Use your glutes and all four sides of your core, both waist sides, front and back, as you pick up your right foot. Bring the knee together and then step it down. Awesome, guys. You did it. Cross your ankles. Sit down. All right. For those of you that are done, you're on your back. For those of you that have like a little bit, we lost Nick and Matthew came instead. Okay. Hi, Matthew. For those of you that have a little bit of gap left in your tank, take your block, put it between your knees. I don't know what kind of week you've had, so like there's no judgment. It's like your choice. If you're just like, I just need this time from me, lay down, it's good. If you're like, I've been kind of cranky and stressed, then let's work it all out. Pick up your knees, squeeze that block. Good, pick up your feet. Put the block so it's not long ways, but it's short ways. So you're squeezing, yeah, on the short part, good. All right, puff up your chest like you're gonna bring your chest to that block. You're not actually, but that's the intention, really lifting here. Okay, here we go, friends. Sit up tall. Your modification would be heels down. If you're down on your back, you're cheering for the rest of us, okay? Here we go. Right arm out. Left arm out. Palms are up, chin up. Stay here. We have 5 breaths together. There we go. We're going to start dropping like flies. Here we go. 1. I'm not just counting for fun. We have to actually breathe. 2. Squeeze the block like it's important. Lift your chest. 3. If you are shaking like crazy, I'm proud of you. 4. If you're on your back, cheer for us. 5. Good work. All right, everybody roll on back. Lana, that was fun what you were doing.
Right.
She was having some fun rolling up and down, huh? All right, everybody, take your feet to the floor, knees are bent. Drop your knees to the right. Oh. Extend your left arm. Turn your gaze to the left. Close your eyes and breathe. Gently bring your knees back up to center. Let your head fall to the right as your knees fall. Feet are still out wide towards the left. The reason I asked you to think about someone who is inspiring is that when you think about what your gifts, what your responsibility is, for some reason, it's so much harder for us to see it about ourselves than us to see it for other people. But make that an endeavor to know your strengths, to know your limitations, and to be able to say, oh, it's this characteristic that I have that really makes me unique, that makes me able to lead, that makes me able to be standing out. And that's where you put your values and your energy, friends. Like, play to your strengths. Don't ignore the limitations, work with them, work on them, but at least be aware of what is that special sauce that you have. Good. Come back up through center. Take your left leg out long. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. And squeeze that leg in. And then gently bring your knee out towards the right a little bit. I've got my right knee in my right hand, hugging in, and then I just pull it a little bit out. I'm externally rotating that leg. Good. Bring it back up to center. Straighten your leg up towards the sky. Support the back of your leg. Point and flex your toes. So move your ankle by pointing and flexing your toes. Then bend and straighten your knee. Pushing through your heel. Making that an intentional movement. Not flopping back and forth, just an intentional movement. If we do that motion, that creates a lot of lubrication in the knee joint. And then gently hug your leg towards your chest, straighten that leg out. Relax your foot. Find a grip on your leg where it's right for you, maybe behind your thigh, maybe further up towards your ankle, and gently pull your leg just straight down towards your chest. So sometimes we do this with the strap, right, around our arch of our foot. We don't have the strap today, but you can find some place on your leg. Good. Bend your right knee, catch the outside of your right foot with your right hand, half happy baby. If this is too much, you can bend your left knee, put your left foot on the floor. You might be a little bit more successful then. And bend your elbow on your right arm so you can pull that arm down. Pull the leg down, good. That's it. It's a lot of work to open up your hips, isn't it? Release your right leg down to the floor. Take the right leg long, hug your left knee into your chest. Take a moment just to have awareness of your right leg, how your right leg feels. And then bring your awareness to your left leg. Start to squeeze that leg in tight and then gently pull it out to the left, keeping your knee bent, keeping it hugging in, just gently taking it in that external rotation so it goes out. That pinch you feel where your leg crease is in your groin, that's your hip flexor. I think of hip flexors like, you know, if you buy broccoli or certain vegetables, they have those really tough, thick rubber bands on them. Take a big breath in here, squeeze that leg in. Good, bring the leg back up to center. Straighten out your leg. Up towards the ceiling, support the back of your thigh, point and flex your toes. Notice what's happening with your right leg. Are you able to bring your right knee down to the floor a little bit more with your left leg still being lifted? Bend and straighten your left knee. Keeping your foot engaged so we're not limp in our toes, just having a nice strong foot. Bend and straighten your knee. Close your eyes, give yourself this awareness. Then keeping your knee bent, reach for the outside of your left foot. Maybe you have to lift your shoulders a bit to get there. Maybe you want to bend your right knee, put your foot on the floor. half happy baby on this side, pulling your left knee down, holding on to the pinky toe side of your foot. I got a good grip with my left hand on my left foot, so really, so that I can use that elbow to pull the knee down.
That's the first I've been able to.
Yeah, you got it? Alana got
Yay!
it. Yay! Your arms grew, Alana. Good job. Now she's not going to want to let go. You're going to stay in half happy baby all day, Alana. All right, pull your knee down, friends. Pushing your right shoulder down into the mat as well. One more breath. Then let it go. Take both legs out long. Isn't that awesome? Reach your arms up above your head. Take a big stretch. And then spread yourself out. Take up as much space as you want. We have just a few seconds of rest. Clear your mind. Now it's not important about your intention, your energy, your gifts, all these responsibilities. All you have to do as your starting point is just show up as you. Believe that you can. Breathe in and breathe out. Be still. You deserve more time, but our time is up. So start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your feet, and make your way over to your side and gently to a seat. Pausing for a moment together with your hands at heart center. Each of you has things that you are going through. Each of you is carrying the weight of something for someone else. I invite you to acknowledge and support each other. Acknowledge yourself for showing up and prioritizing for this time. And I acknowledge you and invite you to live more freely and intentionally, just one day at a time for the next few days. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you.
Great.